To request a trade, you press Escape, Items, Trading, Current Server, and request the person you want to trade with. If they accept, you will be taken to this window here, and you can trade for whatever you want. You can see your items of different games as well, for if you're just Steam trading or something. But for now, I'm trading Team Fortress 2 stuff. Let's say I want to buy a hat from this guy. I would probably just ask, I would say, hello. Oh, caps. Hello. Can I buy one of your hats? And he would put in his hat, and I would put in the money. Metal is basically raw currency in TF2. So then, like, I would push ready when I think my offer is good, and he would push ready. And then we both push this button. We both have to push this make trade button to make the trade happen. So then once you push that, you'll hear that noise and the dana noise, and then you just exit this and you'll see that he's traded for 4 reclaimed metal on chat. If you press escape and go to this notification, you have to do that to receive the item. Then it'll say in the chat, I traded for the chromestone. And you can see now it's in my inventory. So if I want to get a trade request, I would probably say in something like selling craft hat for 1.33 metal. So I put my advertisement up, just, you know, grammatically correct, spelling correct, and I just got a trade request because of my advertisement, probably, and now I will sell this craft hat. He traded me most likely because of my ad. Then I'm in the trade with him, and he offers me the money. Basically, yeah, we, again, push ready, make trade. If you weren't comfortable with the trade, you can use your snipping tool like I said in the other video. And as you can see, I've received the items. I can also just press J again, like after I get out of the trade, to, you know, to get them in my backpack. Yeah. And I know I didn't click his name in the trade this time, but just for future reference, you are supposed to click the name of the person you're trading when you're trading them. In the trade, you can click their icon and it'll take you to their Steam profile in a separate mini window, and then you just go back to the trade window, keeping their profile in the background so that you can track them down if they scam you, or if they or if they had technical difficulties or something like that. You can retrade them through Steam, or you can add them if you want to be best friends. So that's how you go through with the trade, and I will show you how to price check in a minute. Okay, so how I would take a screenshot of a trade is I would get my snipping tool out. All Windows computers should have it, and you press new, and you can take a screenshot. What, you know, you like hold the click button, drag a square, let go, and it saves that square. So you can take a screenshot of the trade window when you think that someone's blatantly trying to scam you. And if they do scam you, or if they, you know, or if you can totally see it, you can report them anyway with proof, even though you don't have that. Like, I mean, even though you don't have the trade history, because you didn't go through with the trade. With ice, and show you how to. And if you press escape by accident and get out of it, you press Shift Tab and it's right there. You can also get your snipping tool, click New, and do that. And then you have a screenshot of who you were trading with and the trade. Every time you go into a trade, you should click the person's name so you have their Steam profile. So if they tried to scam you and close the thing before you can get a screenshot, you still have their Steam profile. This part at the end of the link is their Steam ID, and you can paste that into Steam Rep and search for them and stuff, and see if they're a scammer, marked scammer or not. Ice is obviously not. He's nice. So yeah, that's basically how to request and go through with the trade. And how to record your trade, and also how to keep track of the person that you were trading. And also to save their profile to make sure that you weren't being scammed. Okay, so this is where you price check stuff. Backpack.tf. This is where you go to price check basically everything, except kill streaks and unusuals. Everything is priced here. So I can start searching something like the Voodoo Juju, and I can see it up there, but I can also see other suggestions. I can type in the whole name, and it'll, show me the two types of Voodoo Juju. Now, this Voodoo Juju has a strange version, an uncraftable version, a unique version, and an untradeable version. Probably an achievement version, the untradeable one. Untradeable is yellow with a red border. Tradable and craftable is just yellow. That's called unique. This is called uncraftable or dirty. It just means that you can't craft it into something else, but looks exactly the same. And this is strange. Looks exactly the same, but tracks your points. So stranges are usually worth much, much more than the normal misc or cosmetic. Let's search a weapon. If I search strange... In a second I'll search a weapon. Juju. It doesn't come up with anything. You don't search the quality, you just search the name of the item and it'll show all the qualities prices. So let's search a weapon now. Let's search bot killer. All the bot killers are strange, by the way. There's never a unique one. So bot killer minigun, let's say, and then let's search a silver one, and let's see how much the silver ones are. So there are two types, and they're both the same price. I can also put maybe no, not that. And I can search the price of a taunt. So the party trick is a taunt, and the pool party is a taunt, and I can see their prices down there. So this is like the best. You can just quickly type it in and see it. And you can also, if you sign in through Steam, you can go to your backpack. I'll go to my backpack to show you. And if you see this, or if your backpack doesn't refresh, it's not what, or if this page doesn't look like what your backpack is right now, don't worry, it'll refresh itself after the Steam thing comes back up. So you can see how much refined your backpack is worth. You can see how much raw refined you have, and you can see how many raw keys you have, how many dollars your backpack would be worth if you'd bought it all right now with real money in TF2. You can also see how much it would be worth on the Steam market, I think that means. And this is how many slots are taken up in your backpack. I have 600 slots because I used a couple backpack expanders. You might not have that many. I had a lot because each one of these keys is like 13 refined, so if I sold one, that's 13 spaces. So that's like you know, this much. So it's, you know, it's quite a lot. About a fifth of a page. So I do need a lot of space for when I sell those, when they go up. This is all the stuff that I keep or use. This is all the stuff that I'm not gonna sell because I love it, and it's only like 2 pages. But so yeah, that's basically how to price check. While you're in a trade, you can minimize the game and go to this. It's perfectly acceptable. If you're lagging with multiple things open, don't worry. You can, you know, you can ask the person to take your time with it. You know, you can ask if you can have a couple minutes. Yeah. So I just think that that'll be quite useful. You can also, when you get someone's Steam ID, right, and it shows at the end of their backpack URL, but it also shows at the end of their Steam URL. If you have someone's Steam ID, let me show you how to look them up on Steam Rep. So you search Steam Rep, just in one word. You go to Steam Rep Home, which should be your first thing. You paste their Steam ID in there, and you press search. And it should come up. There you go, see, there's my Steam Rep. I've got no special reputation, which means I'm not trusted or untrusted yet. It takes a lot to get a good special reputation on Steam Rep, so if you haven't got a bad one, you're fine. As you can see, these are all the trading sites, the different trading sites I could be on, and here's Backpack, and you can go to someone's backpack through that. So if you have their Steam ID from the profile thing that I showed you, then you can go to their backpack profile, click the trust thing, and that takes you to their trust thread. Now here I've got my nice ratings and stuff, and you can click, well, I don't have it because it's my own, but there should be a button right here about between overview and showing all ratings to leave a rating, and you can click positive or negative, and then you can write it. And if you're doing a negative one about someone, include the screenshot of why you're giving them a negative review so that you don't look like you're lying. I have a lot of notifications. And on here you can see the value of your backpack climbing. It's not very accurate, so I wouldn't listen to it all the time. But yeah, my number of items went down because I bought a ton of keys, but my value has gone slightly up, so those two lines are independent from each other completely. For a while it was just me getting new items that was getting my backpack to a higher value, but it's been all over the place recently. So yeah, that's how to price check your items. You can also, in a server, you should be able to do a command !PC and then type the name of the item, and it should come up in a little window with the price, but that doesn't always work. So you can just go ahead and go to backpack.tf and check your price. During a trade, you have to price check everything. Don't ever believe, actually, what someone is telling you with the value, even if it's your best friend, because they might make a mistake even, not knowing it or not trying to. So definitely check the price every single time. Every time. You need to check the price for every single item, and that's why I would recommend at the start not doing big trades, because you might miscalculate it. Don't be afraid to have your calculator out, because you can calculate your total in refined value of your items and their total and see if they're kind of equal enough for you. Kill streak items and unusual items and collector's items are not, they don't have a set price, because it really all depends on what they're worth to the person buying them. For example, I might want a certain effect more than other people, so I'd probably pay for it more than other people. And that's where the controversy comes, and that's why it's so difficult to sell them, because there's no real set price, there's just an average price that people sell them for. I wouldn't recommend ever putting all your wealth or all your items riding on one thing. For example, if I earned 15 keys, right, and that's all I have, I wouldn't spend it all on one unusual to sell, because if it turned out that it was bad, or a bad unusual, or something, and no one wanted to buy it, then what? I'm screwed because I can't sell it, and that's all the value of my backpack that I put into that. So don't ever do that. At least save 25% of your currency in your backpack always outside of any one trade. And I think that's it. That's how to trade and check your prices in a trade. And I will also show you real quick how to price stuff up. You see that most things have a value of refined, like, you know, let's say, okay, so that's in keys, and you can see that keys are currently 13.33 ref. A reclaimed is 0.33, and a scrap is 0.22. A refined, you know, is just 3 reclaimed. So, you know, like, you can figure it out in refined, whatever the price is. Yeah, I think that's just about it. You could probably go through a trade and get your currency and stuff. You can have your calculator out and everything, and do everything for big trades with lots of items. But I would recommend just doing like separate trades for different things. Like if you're trading a lot of things with someone, do separate transactions for any one item. If you're not wanting to be super like switching the windows all the time and everything. So yeah, that's basically how you do it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to go to your trade history. If you didn't get any screenshots or their Steam profile, you can get their Steam profile this way. You go to your profile in your Steam thing, inventory, then you'll see this button. Next to it, you'll click more, view inventory history, and you will see all of the trade history. Now, as you can see, I've traded with ice a few times tonight for demonstration purposes with the Crone's Dome. You can see all the trade history of all the trades I've done. The way it's laid out is there's the date you traded with, then their username, and it's a hot link to their profile. As you can see, I can click his name and go to his profile. And I can see plus reclaimed metal, reclaimed metal, reclaimed metal, minus the Crone's Dome. So I sold the Crone's Dome to him. Now, don't worry, about this trade. I know that this trade is probably not correct price-wise. We did it for demonstration purposes. He's not scammed me. He's my friend. We did it, we both staged it. So, usually people will trade you and there'll be more conversation. It won't be so easy, usually. So now you know how to go to your trade history and go to their profile. So you can click on their name and go to their Steam profile. Hang on. Reload. Okay, so their Steam profile, you can right click on anywhere in the page, really. Click copy page URL. Then go to your browser, type in Steam rep, then click on the Steam rep home, paste the link that you got in somewhere where you can copy this number at the end, copy the number at the end, paste it in the Steam rep search, that's their Steam ID, and now I can see ice right here. I don't know why it's not showing, oh no, there we go, it's showing the same profile picture now. It just had to refresh. It's been a while since someone has visited his Steam rep, apparently. He has no special reputation, so he's fine. And again, I can go to his, bazaar, I can go to backpack, and I can click trust, and I can leave a rating for this user. I can click yes or no, and I have to type a good answer why. I haven't rated him yet, and I should have. I'm gonna put very nice trader, 10 out of 10, would trade again. Cat face, heart. So yeah, and then I leave him a nice review, and he has a positive rating. Someone who has 0 and just scammed you, and you put a bad rating for them, they would be in the negative, so they'd be like untrusted by Backpack. So, you know, that's it's kind of mean, but it's, you know, something that will happen if they haven't had any good ratings to counter your bad one. So yeah, that's how to go to someone's trust thing and get their ID when you forgot to in the trade. And also see the trade history, and you can take a snip of that as well if you got scammed.